Welcome back to the RTF podcast, where we refresh your feed so you don't have to. My name is Matt, his name is Falk1, and you're watching episode 47. Oh my god, he's back.
What's going on, Matt?
He is back. I'm chilling. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Of course. It's been a while. Actually, a long time. Longer than wanted, but yeah.
It's been a minute before I...
Hell yeah. Since you cut scene.
Yeah.
For those who don't know that are watching, let's give them a little recap. Say why you were gone, things going on.
Yeah, so I went to LA for 3 months just for like music and just to get out and create new stuff and see what would happen. So I went to LA from September to December of last year, and it was really good for me actually. It was a time where I had to do everything on my own. Nothing was like, spoon fed to me. Yeah. I had to be independent. I had to cook my own meals. If I wanted to get something done, like with music, I had to go and do it myself. Like if I wanted to promote myself, like everything was on my shoulders, right? It was like the first time where I've always wanted to do music, but it was the first time that I really looked at it as a job, right? Like, I would do something one day and I would realize, you know what, this didn't really help me. And then I'd do something another day that was a little bit different, and that would help me. And I'd kind of realize, okay, if I do these steps and I do like, different marketing tools or whatever the case may be, that it would help me more in my career, right? So it really helped me a lot just to get kind of out of here and out of like my daily routine and switch it up a little bit.
Yeah, it creates like a different, I think, like a different sort of mentality.
Yeah.
Right? It's like almost, because music is a hard career to say that like you turn work mode on, because work mode has to come with like a setting as well. Right? So like when you say you go to like a different place and then it feels like this different atmosphere and whatever, it's like same the way people get up to go their 9 to 5, right? They're the regular person at home, but when they get to work in that setting is like turns on, right? Like it's like a switch almost, which is I think it's dope. I think it was great.
It really helped. Even like writing music, I found like was different because I was seeing different things, so I was getting different inspirations. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so that was really cool. That really helped me to kind of make different things, stuff that I was like proud of to make, like stuff that I actually encountered or went through like on the trip. So that was like I said, it was a crazy experience. LA is just
wild, right?
It's
what's like aside from like the music, right, and that flipping that switch, what's sort of like the big takeaways from like moving somewhere there, right? What's some like the big like things you noticed besides the weather?
Yeah, so again, weather's huge, but for me there it's like, I think it's because it's such a big population. Like California as a whole has a bigger population than all of Canada, right? So it's like a bunch of people. So it's not even like music. I feel like just networking in general. So many people are there where like it's pros and cons, right? Like it's like so many people are there, so there's a lot of competition. But it's also like so many people are there, so there's so many different people to network with.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what I found as well. Whereas like, and the opportunities were like even like now I'm actually starting to look for like shows like here, because I have like a lot of people who are like, oh, when are you gonna do shows? Where I have to like kind of like look, and like they were there was right in front of my face. Like when I did that little like performance, that performance, like I saw it and I was like, oh, and I had to get approved for it, whatever. But it was quick. Like it was the opportunities were like at your fingertips. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Whereas here I find, even though it's getting better in Toronto, like there's more opportunity. In LA, it's still like more grand, like it's just more readily accessible, like everything's kind of like right on your face, like you meet somebody, oh yeah, well I acted here and I know this person who did that. Even like an Uber driver, oh I've been, because they all go there to do stuff, right? Like an Uber driver's like, oh I'm an actress and here's my stuff here, let's communicate or
speak in the future.
You know what I'm saying, where you can like network with people a little bit more easy.
It's crazy, right? You think of, obviously here there is opportunity to a certain extent, but like you're saying, there's like everywhere you turn at that point is just like, I've done this, I've done that, I know this. And like, I don't know if it's a pro or a con in a way, right? Because all that exposure obviously is great, and like you meet people and you meet big people like famous and things like that down the grapevine or whatever, but like obviously people go there, people go to different spots along the US especially for music, right? Like Atlanta's another big one. There's a lot of high
New York, obviously.
New York and stuff like that. So I feel like Toronto, although you go there, right? I still feel like Toronto's part of like your originality, like your like where you come from, right? It's always like where you started from. So people don't like necessarily like designate you as like, oh, you started in California, right? Like I don't think that's it, right? It's
No.
where you come from, like where you grew up,
Yeah.
which is always good, right? Because obviously you're going there to network and meet and hopefully find something, find this, find that, right? But having that like image from Canada, I think separates you from the people that are coming from the U.S. to like other parts of the U.S. to California.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I agree. I agree 100%. I think it's like your identity, right? It's like what
Yeah.
makes you who like people from Toronto have like a specific swagger, a specific thing about them, right? That like makes us kind of
Yeah.
different. And same thing with like any city that you come from, like you have something from that city because that's where you were born and like raised, right? Like you take that with you. Like I notice people in LA, like it's not like a massive cultural shock, right? Like that you would think like you're going country to country, whatever, but they have like their like little nuances that they do kind of like differently or how they interact with people. It's funny, like everyone says like Canadians are like so nice, whatever. But it is true. Like certain things, it's like they'll be a little bit more
Forward.
and a little bit more cold, whereas us will be we'll sugarcoat it a little bit more.
Yeah.
So that's like kind of the Canadian vibe that like
What are some of like the other things that they notice? Was there anything that people said things about you or maybe even your sister that were like, oh, like you don't see this here that often? Any personality traits?
well another massive stereotype is like you realize how much you say a like
Yeah.
being Canadian, like you realize actually how much you say it because they don't say it.
At all.
Like they don't say it, and I'm like, oh, like you're doing this, eh? Like whatever, like. But like for me, I thought it was just like a,
Yeah.
you know, a passing in conversation that you kind of use it sometimes. But it's funny, like a couple people that I met down there, they would like, oh, a again, or like, you know what I'm saying, like. But like for us, it's
Yeah, and when you hear
just
like,
how we speak.
yeah, when you hear people like make fun of us saying that, oh, like you say a all the time, whatever. Yeah, I'm like, no, we don't. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't think you do
Exactly.
until you actually like hear it and you're like, oh yeah, it's pretty nice. Like, you know, it's just
Yeah.
very like it's
Yeah,
just slipped in there.
Yeah.
Like it's always just so so subtle. I want to. You're in California, but I want to talk about one of the biggest events that happened. I don't know if you saw recently that the F1 in Miami.
No,
F1 race. Anyways, I'm not gonna go into it too in depth. All I want to talk about was really, like it was a crazy, tons of celebrities, tons of big famous people there, DJ Khaled, all kinds of like sports athletes, celebrities, Serena Williams, Venus Williams, all these people that were there. I don't remember his name. I'm gonna pull it up.
Who, Lewis Hamilton? That's the only person in F1 that I know.
No. It was he was an interviewer. He's an interviewer for Sky Sports. He's famous. I don't know exactly what he does, but I'm gonna type in F1.
Is it the guy who messed up?
Yes.
Patrick Mahomes with the basketball guy.
Yeah, I don't remember his name though.
It was some British guy, right?
Yeah. I don't know what he's well known though. Martin Brundle? Yeah. Martin Brundle. So have you seen the video of him going around?
Yeah. I saw the one with just of him and the basketball guy.
Yeah.
I don't know what his name is, but
Paolo Banchero.
Okay, yeah.
Paolo Banchero, he plays for Duke.
Okay,
Sure. He's like a top prospect.
Yeah.
Right? So he goes behind, like I'm gonna put it up, but goes behind him, he's like, oh, Patrick, because to be fair, he was chilling with Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But basically, the whole scenario is he walks up to him, calls him Patrick Mahomes. Internet blows up because he fucked it up, right?
Yeah.
But he like, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt from like a general perspective. If I didn't know fuck all about football, I would think he's Patrick Mahomes.
I could see it.
You know what I mean?
Kind of like
aside
again,
the fact that he's like 6'8".
If you don't know like anything, yeah.
Like I feel bad. Like we're having this conversation with like my family we were watching, but you taking like Europeans don't know. Some it's big some places, but a lot of Europeans don't really understand basketball. Like they don't have a lot of knowledge besides like
like it's like basketball is I know like it's getting more worldwide, but I think especially like football is still very like American. So like I get like how he wouldn't really know Patrick Mahomes, right? Like it's not like what it is here where like he's a household name for everyone, right? Like everyone knows who he is. Like if you pull up a picture, like if you're following any type
Yeah,
of sports,
exactly.
he's like the biggest guy in football, right? Where I think is they're like nothing. Like
Yeah,
they're
zero.
like they have like I know in England like they do some games there and stuff, but
Yeah. Well, there's I over exaggerate about like basketball is actually like you said they have like Real Madrid and there's like those other
yeah,
teams that play
basketball
there.
is pretty big now, like
Yeah, but like
worldwide. But football,
football definitely not.
no.
Yeah, definitely not. And like you think about exactly like you were saying, like a household name, and it's like holy fuck, like you don't even know what he looks like,
Yeah.
right? Like you go from like Tom Brady, I don't know if he was there as well, but like those like the biggest faces in football. Like Patrick
Yeah.
Mahomes like the biggest face.
Yeah, he
if
has
not
like the biggest
fucking Tom
contract.
Brady.
Like he's like
Yeah,
yeah.
he's the guy, right? So it was just so funny to see that. DJ Khaled was another big one there. I don't know if you saw as well what he did to the Heat coach. So it was. I don't know how I feel about this because it's the same thing with Drake and Nick Nurse. So you get Khaled was like pumping up the crowd and he gave Espo a back rub, right? And then everyone was going crazy. Some people are opposed to like having that celebrity to like professional relationship, but he like the coach loved it. Like he said it was
Yeah.
great, whatever. And the same thing happens with like Nick Nurse and Drake because like I don't know how I feel about it. I think it's obviously beneficial because it gets the crowd going crazy.
Yeah.
Number one, I think it's dope like for that reason. But then there's like this negative idea behind it that it's like they shouldn't be getting involved, and then sometimes it's too much to the point where they're like talking trash to the players and getting people texts and things like other teams texts and shit like that. You right?
To me, if you're at a game and you're a fan or whatever, like anything to help the team win,
Yeah.
like that, like that's home court advantage.
Yeah.
Like Spoelstra probably loved him freaking giving a massage on his back and freaking because like you said, it gets the fans hyped, it gets probably the players hyped, or whatever it is, right? And when you chirp like another guy, like when Drake was chirping Embiid, like
Yeah.
if it gets it to Embiid's head, then
Good. Yeah.
fuck it, like why not, right? Like
Yeah.
to me, I think home court advantage, anything that can help you at home, use to your advantage.
Work.
It's part of sports. It's part of sports.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
the
saying? You got to
biggest-
deal with it.
The biggest example was Spike Lee for the Knicks. You remember like a
Yeah,
long
yeah.
time ago. That was like
He
the
still goes to like every, but just
Yeah.
they're not really relevant anymore.
Yeah,
anymore,
fucking too
so-
bad. But like that was like the OG, right? Like that's what started Bear talking shit. I remember who it was. I think Reggie Miller. I could be wrong. Like there's a lot that shit talking is like, especially with people courtside and whatever. It starts like, I think it makes it much more interesting, to be completely honest.
Yeah, I 100% agree because you get to see those people in a different light. Like it's like even when I see like Drake posts about the Raptors or Justin Bieber posts about like the Maple Leafs,
Yeah.
it's like you see a different side of them. We're like, oh shit, like they're a fan as well. Like they want them to win as well, like
Yeah.
just as bad as you want to, right? So you see Drake like chirping them. It's like he's like us, like
Yeah.
like if I was there, I'd be chirping Embiid too. Like I would try to get in his head, whatever it takes to see your team win, right? Like
Yeah, exactly.
so it's kind of cool to see like that side of them, and I think that's why a lot of people like it because you see like these big celebrities
Yeah.
as a fan, like they're not the main star,
Yeah,
right? They're
yeah.
supporting other people, so I
Yeah.
think that's a cool side of the
Yeah,
game.
it's cool. I think like I think you're at a disadvantage if you don't have one of those guys on your.
Yeah, like even
Court, right?
Philadelphia has like a Meek Mill, like who's always
Yeah.
like courtside to their games and stuff.
Yeah, there's a bunch. There's like okay, the Raptors have like Superfan as well as Drake, but
Yeah.
that guy's like Superfan's not as
Yeah,
relevant,
he's more like PG. Like
Yeah,
he'll do like the
Yeah,
like
that
to
was
the
good. That shit was good against Philly.
yeah.
That was really, really funny. I had a good time fucking watching him courtside. It was so funny. But yeah, I've been exploring recently and where I got those from online, obviously, Instagram, Twitter. Instagram's making some changes. I don't want to go too in depth, but for someone as a content creator, they are just briefly Instagram's changing their platform. They're going more of very vertical mobile first style approach to Instagram and posting and photos and videos. I want to know what you think, coming from TikTok, obviously, with that being your more like dominant profile, more frequent posting profile. So I think in a way they're trying to mimic Instagram. Mimic TikTok in a way. But the way it's gonna work is you're gonna be allowed now to post photos with a 9:16 aspect ratio, which is basically portrait, but like fully portrait. That's the size of your whole screen. So right now, to make things, I know this is like a photography bullshit, whatever, but you know how TikTok, you scroll, it's your whole page?
Yeah.
The same thing is going to be happening
Gotcha.
with Instagram, right? So it's going to be like
And then the comments you have to click on, kind of thing, like kind of like TikTok, or
it's more like the posts are gonna be that size, and then the way the posts are laid out, it will be the same. So like
Gotcha.
the comments will be below, and then
the
like
comments will
likes,
still be below.
yeah, and the likes will
Okay.
be below. It's not like the reels, the comment you have to click the
Yeah,
comments,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
But posts like photos, you'll have to go below and stuff like that, which I think is. We're gonna talk about your TikTok in a second, but like I think that's the way it's going, right? That's
Yeah.
like a full screen, full immersive photos, videos. That's the way it's going because everyone's obviously seen success in TikTok.
Yeah.
And you see now, especially maybe from, I'd probably say a year from now, like when TikTok began or just before it began, like Reels, YouTube Shorts, everything. You notice there's like a big uprising, right? And you had I want to talk a little bit about your like TikTok experience and like where you started so far, where you're at now, and what do you think is like the most beneficial from there, from like this whole time?
Like me growing,
Yeah.
or like you're saying, like what has helped.
Yeah.
So for me, which is another thing. So the reason why, like, because like a lot of people are like, oh, like I'm not sure how long TikTok's gonna last or whatever. TikTok's just like
Yeah.
a little phase, whatever. To me, it's like a lot of people compare TikTok to Vine, but the thing that Vine didn't do is it didn't adapt, right, with the times.
Yeah.
Like TikTok adapts constantly, and there's different things, so that's why it constantly stays relevant. So a big thing where I get 99% of my followers are the TikTok lives that they brought in, right? So my post, like I try to post like 3 times a day and keep up with my posts, but my posts, as much as I've seen like increase in my posts, I still get, not too much traction with my posts.
Not as much as the lives nearly. Right?
No, but my lives, so I started the lives when I was in LA. And basically, I was like, okay, what do I do that's kind of different? So I was like, I make music, right? And I want to market my music, but what can I do that separates myself from other people? And I was like, I've always been good at like freestyling and
Yeah.
like putting words out on the fly, whatever. So I started to do like freestyles and like people would put words in the comments and I would just freestyle them, right? And I had like 2 people in the thing, right? And
Yeah.
and 2-3 people in the lives, and sometimes I would get like 5-6, and I would be like, okay, this is I'm getting
Yeah.
somewhere, right? And it got like that for like a couple months, and then I came back here, and to be fair, I think everyone you have to give yourself time with anything that you do,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
So I feel like it's easy to get discouraged. Like obviously, like I saw 5 people, and I was like, oh, like, like I'm putting so much effort into this, and I'm
Yeah.
seeing only 3 people. It's like that video where it's like that person jamming out, and there's 3
Yeah,
people,
the
on top
three
of- right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
chilling.
So like that's what it kind of feels like, right? You're putting like all your work in. It's like this video that you're gonna edit, right? You work so hard on it, and if one person viewed it, right, you're gonna be like, fuck, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's like you're putting so much effort into something, and then nothing's really happening. So January I came, like end of December, January I came back to Toronto. I kept it up because, like I said, you have to give yourself time. I felt.
Yeah.
Kept going, and 6 came to 10, and 10 came to 15, and then there came a week like late February and March where things just started to change, and like I got my first 100 people in the live, and I was like,
Traction,
no
right?
way,
Yeah.
yeah. And I was like, no way. And then the next week I got 1,000 people in the live, and then now I'll get like I don't get usually under 100. It'll be like 100 to 2,000, like in a range of a live,
Yeah.
right? And I get so when I started the lives, I had 1,000 followers, and now I think yesterday or 2 days ago I hit 30,000
Oh,
followers.
congrats.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
That's
So and it's just been like, it's been crazy because it's just a different world out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm finally able to market myself and my music through like the lives and through TikTok. And I think like anybody who's a content creator, whether it's music, photography, podcasts, whatever, you have to use that
Yeah.
app because they put your stuff out to anybody. And like even the last live that I had, there was somebody in Australia, and he works for like a radio station there.
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, I really like your music. Like, let me
Yeah, I
know when
saw
you're...
it. Reposted it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, yo, let me know when your new releases, and I have a new EP, little plug there. I have a new EP coming out Friday, but he was like, yo, let me know when you release those. I want to play it on my radio station.
Dope.
And it's like, this is like across the world in
Yeah,
Australia,
really.
right? Like I would never get that reach before this. So to me, it's insane like that. People are joining from, like I have a lot of people from the States, right? Like California, Utah, Alabama, South Africa, England, Australia, New Zealand, the Philippines, like. So to me, it's the coolest thing because all I've ever wanted is for my music to be heard from like all across the world.
Yeah.
And this app, like TikTok, has been just sent out my lives, me freestyling, like something that I love to
Yeah.
do, to everyone, and they end up clicking on my bio and checking out my music, and so I've seen my streams go up. I've seen like
Yeah.
just it affects a bunch of stuff. So it's been wild. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna ride it
Yeah,
as
for
long as I
sure.
can, of course, right? But for me, if you're not on TikTok right now and you're like a content creator, you're missing the mark. And if you think that it's like silly or stupid, like I know sometimes people think like, oh, like the trends, because sometimes you have to do the trends. Like if an audio is popular, a filter's popular,
Yeah, it gets traction as well.
it gets traction. And you know what? Like as cheesy as you want it to be, like I know you don't want to be cheesy or you don't want to like. You just have to you got to follow the trend. Like you have to follow the trend, or else you know what? That's what works on that app. And if you want to stay relevant, you have to swallow your pride a little bit and be like, you know what? I need to make this stuff in order to promote my music. Like
Yeah.
there's a little bit of sacrifice. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
exactly.
Like some of the videos I make, I'm like, oh, I'm using this audio, but if you make it your own, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
if you make
exactly.
it a part of your identity and like you add your own swagger or your own image to it, like. It's not as cheesy. It's not. It's
yeah,
not.
yeah.
You know
People
what
get
I'm
where
saying?
you're coming from. Yeah.
Exactly, right? Because everybody, if you're trying to make it as a content, is doing the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? There's a reason why a trending sound has millions of videos to it. It's because people realize, oh, this is catching fire. I should do this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's like when you're on TikTok and like let's say you post something, you post like a trending song that's on the bottom of your video. It's because like if I post this, maybe like more people will come to check out my site.
Yeah.
It's give and take, right? Like it's how that app works, whether you like it or not. But you have to be thankful for it because, like I'm saying, you never know who's gonna stumble. Like, God forbid, Joe Rogan has TikTok. He's scrolling. He's like, oh, I like this guy's podcast,
Yeah,
and he
exactly.
sees you. Like you just
Yeah.
don't know, right?
Yeah, it's wild. Yeah, obviously it's definitely fulfilling as fuck to see like finally so many like I would say like years obviously, right, of hard work and goes into like the production of like music production and like behind the scenes and like writing lyrics of it, like all that whole process and then translates into the music and finally seeing like some appreciation for it, right? It definitely is fulfilling as fuck. I
Yeah.
see where you're coming from. And like globally, yes, and like I think that the platform does it better than anywhere else, obviously, to get it across the world. Like you
Yeah.
see people from everywhere, like you're saying. But like you're seeing like direct translation into your streams and like
Yeah.
actual. So this isn't like people generally assume that TikTok is, oh, like you get this on TikTok and it's just TikTok, like but it translates, right?
Like there's a lot of artists who have made it
Yeah.
out because of TikTok, and the thing is like when a TikTok song, like the audio, like if
Yeah, it
somebody
blows up, yeah.
like it blows up, like that song is playing on the radio as well, and that song is playing on
Yeah.
it's on the top Billboard charts, and like people like Doja Cat is like a great example. Like her songs always trend,
Yeah.
and she's won a Grammy now. Like she's on the billboards. Like it's not just an app. It's honestly. It's an app like that you could have fun on, but it's a marketing tool. At the end of the
yeah,
day,
for
it's a
sure.
marketing tool. That's what you should use it for if you're trying to do content. Like, of course, you can make stupid, funny videos with your friends. Like,
Yeah.
if you're using it leisurely, of course, right? But if you're using it to try to grow your business and your brand, like I see real estate agents, like
Oh,
it doesn't have to be like musician or like like podcast or something. It's anything, like even a construction company, like you could
Yeah.
look, I just did this, right? Like it's free outreach to anybody. Like, hey, if you need
It's interesting to like think that like the same platform that you dance on is primarily used for dancing is like can also be used as like a tool to like impact your business or your career or what I mean, like that. It's like
that's why I think the stigma about it
Yeah,
is
exactly.
is almost like, oh, it's like for kids or whatever the case
that's
may
what I
be.
was gonna say.
But yeah,
Like
sorry, continue.
that's what people think, like because people just dance on it and whatever, and there's like I don't know, my feed, maybe it's my algorithm, there's Bear Girls shaking ass all the time. But like that's I know a lot of other stuff too. A lot of like Barstool Sports.
I have other stuff.
I do other stuff besides that, but like that's what I'm saying. Like people sort of discredit anyone who's on TikTok, right? But it's not justified because I'd probably say like it's probably 50-50 between creators that are actually doing something to further them in a way, and then there's also people that are just fucking around,
Yeah.
right? Like it's a bust of both worlds.
But yeah, I'm sure you've seen like even like the biggest artists are on there. Like
Oh, yeah.
like Russ does like open verse challenges and
Yeah.
will like actually look at TikTok and like he's done 2 remixes on like songs with like from like TikTok. So that's how big like the platform
Yeah.
is. You know what I'm saying? Like a big artist like Russ is using somebody's video that they've done to reply to him, right? Like for an open verse, and he's used it on an actual song, and now it's on Apple Music, Spotify, this, that, whatever. It's just wild,
and it's getting streams,
and
right?
it's getting shit like because it's Russ's song, and he just added that person as a feature.
Yeah.
So now that artist who may have been like partially big before, they're huge now. Like everyone knows who you are, right? Like I remember that one, the Handsomer remix. Do you know what that girl? The girl who did the remix of
Yes,
that? You know what I'm
yes,
saying?
yes.
Like however big she was before, she's 10 times bigger now as an artist because she's on a song with Russ that went literally viral. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it all started from just a silly TikTok video that she made. Like, it's not silly, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, you know who's a good example actually? You know that guy Jaleel? Shirtless, he has like really long arms, like the longest arms. He's always shirtless. He's doing backflips. He performed at the most recent Rolling Loud.
really?
Yeah, so he has like that one song. He's always like Jaleel, yeah, that guy. Anyways, he fucking blew up on TikTok. He had like so many whatever, and he has like he sings the song. You know the song? He'd be like, "When I feel like rolling up, I'ma slide in." There's no way you have it. You're a TikTok guy, man. You don't find. Anyways, you have to look it up.
Yeah, I'll have
Anyways,
to look it up.
he's like he literally blew up on like that one song is like went crazy, right? It literally went nuts. He performed on Rolling Loud, like you know how I mean? Like transfers over, like
That's what I'm saying. It's not a
it's
kid's
fucked.
app if you can make a career out of it. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
and he's like, and now he's promoting like he's promoting this brand of like raw energy. Like he's always like mosh pit, screaming, fucking backflips. Like you know what I mean? Like
got you.
that's his like vibe, and like he's running with it, which is another great example. Speaking of Rolling Loud, I want to talk about Rolling Loud coming to Toronto. Huge,
Yeah,
right? I think it's the first one ever.
Yeah, first one I
Yeah.
think that's ever came to Toronto, which is wild.
Not Canada. I think they have one in Vancouver. If I'm
that I'm not
fucked up.
sure about, but I know.
Yeah.
I know you're right about
Toronto for sure. It's gonna be crazy. The tickets are just under 400 Canadian, which is not.
Is it
too
for
wild.
is that for 3 days?
3 days.
So it's under 400 for 3 days.
Yeah, there's like 3 different tiers of tickets. So like tier 1, I think was like early access or like early release or something like that. It's like great spots or whatever the fuck it is. And then there's tier 2 and tier 3. I don't know where they're positioned according to stage and things like that, but it's 3 days. There's some big names like
Yeah, there's
like
massive.
It's obviously it's Rolling Loud. There's Dave is headlining week 1. Future's headlining. Day 1 is Dave. Day 2 is Future. Day 3 is fucking Wizkid.
Wizkid, yeah.
Yeah. You just see like that right there.
No. Look.
No, but it's gonna be wild. Like there's some like looking at some of the names here, like Lil TJ, Nav, Migos.
Roddy Ricch, I remember, is on one day. I know. Yeah, like Roddy. I know Roddy Ricch is on one day.
Skepta, Trippie Redd, Ski Mask, Lil Yachty, Pressa is like obviously from like Toronto.
Yeah, Roy Woods from Toronto.
Lil Uzi, A Boogie, Ray Shremmer. Like these are fucking big names.
Big names, yeah.
And like every day has like 4 or 5 big names, right? So it's gonna be a crazy event. It's at where Ontario Place, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it's at Ontario Place. Let me see. I could be wrong. Molson Amphitheater? No, it's probably Ontario Place. Anyways, it's gonna be.
Yeah, it's
gonna
got to be a
wavy.
massive.
Yeah,
it can't be.
it's gotta be.
It's got to be a massive.
It's got to be a big venue, right? So I'm excited. I was planning on going. I think I'm still probably gonna go. $350 a ticket. It's kind of steep, but it's 3 days,
work,
right?
yeah.
So it's a big event. June.
I think it's September.
Or sorry, September 9th to 11th. Sorry, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
September 9th to 11th. I'm tripping. I'm thinking of June. I'm thinking of something else. Yeah, but it's exciting. Like, do you ever see yourself
That I feel like is like
it's like a dream, right?
The goal, right? Like it's like you see things like this, like something come into your city. It's like, okay, you know what? Let's try to get as big as we possibly mark this down. Let's see if like we could get as big as we possibly can, and then you know what? You go to something like that where you can perform to. Like that would be like for me, I love fucking performing. I think it's the coolest thing when like other people that you don't even know or like whatever, like for me the coolest thing about the lives are like when I'm like on like singing some of my own stuff, and people are typing in the lyrics that I'm about to say,
Yeah.
or something. Like people that I've never met before, and they know my music. So to me, that's the coolest thing. So I can only imagine like in a concert setting, singing like a song, and a bunch of people are singing it with you.
Yeah.
It's got to be the coolest fucking
When you see
thing
like
in the world.
yeah, like the best performances, things like that, it's usually at like a Rolling Loud or like
Yeah.
a massive venue and everyone's going crazy, like
Exactly.
mosh pits and shit like that. So obviously that'd be like that'd be a fucking dream, like crowd surfing. You see some people jumping from the rafters, like Travis Scott especially.
Yeah, he does.
What do
a
you
lot
think?
of
What do you think
crazy
is like the? I'd probably say, in his time, rest in peace. I think X had the craziest, most outrageous like concerts. Maybe
I've only seen like some videos,
Like
but like
clips, right?
especially like his like harder shit, like obviously not like the
Yeah,
question mark, like when
Yeah.
he was like doing like more of a social, but like his first like Look at Me, like anytime like I've seen like
I think that song was like
performances of
yeah.
that shit, like everyone's going fucking insane for that, right? So
I think that's like the biggest, and like to compare it to like old school music, right? Like it's something like uncomparable. Like it's just I feel like a mentality of everyone as a whole is just different, right? Because you see like an example is Live Aid. Remember from the Queen
Yeah.
movie, yeah. Like that shit, everyone's like kumbaya and fucking all happy and this is all like very aggressive aggression.
yeah.
A lot of drug smoking, a lot of fucking alcohol. You know what I mean? Like it's very.
drugs, fucking high. It's just
But like people
Yeah.
definitely smoke bear drugs. But
Yeah.
that was like hippie days. Like I'm talking about like Woodstock and things like that. There's a lot of people, but I don't think it's like. I feel like it's a pro and con, but there's like a general form of like aggression.
Yeah, that's one thing that I'm actually like, I don't even know if we should get into this, but like one thing that I'm nervous about for
Yeah.
thing is I've heard like it's probably, which is sad. It kind
It's
of
iffy.
It's
right?
iffy. Like there's a lot of people there that like, I don't know.
A lot of artists that attract a certain crowd, right? There's a lot of questionable like, okay, a lot of aggression in the songs, a lot of like different people
Yeah,
with different
where like
values.
it's fine. It's just you don't want anything to go out of hand. But
Yeah, exactly.
and it also just doesn't look good on your city if shit like that happens. You know what I'm saying? It's like the one in Toronto was like fucking lame because like it'll get canceled, right? If they do
Yeah.
something stupid, like it'll get canceled, right? So it looks bad on the city. So hopefully us as a city, Toronto, we
Security's locked down.
Yeah.
I think the biggest scare was that Travis Scott concert.
yeah,
Right,
like
with
shit
the
like
pass-
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that like ramped up security for venues across the world. Right, it was a big scare.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're gonna end there for today.
No. Thank you.
Let the people know what's coming up, what you got going on.
So this Friday, May 13th, mark it down. Well, I guess once this comes out, it'll already be out. So stream it now. No, but this Friday, May 13th, my new EP, Nocturnal. It's a spacey and dreamy EP. It comes out. It's got 2 songs on it that it goes a little bit against kind of the style that I'm used to, kind of different. That I'm really proud of. I took kind of a chance with it, and I've shown some sneak peeks to people on the lives again, and it's gotten a lot of good traction and stuff like that. So really excited for it. And yeah, thank you for having me.
Dope. Why Nocturnal?
Okay, well, that's actually a great question. So 2 things. So you mentioned earlier in the lives, like it's tough your
That's what I figured.
your schedule, and it's true. I've literally been on like a nocturnal type schedule where I'm always awake or doing stuff in the nighttime, and during the
Yeah.
day I'm sleeping. So I did nocturnal also because I have a song called Nighttime on it. So it kind of just fits
Dope.
this whole theme. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. What are your tags on Instagram, TikTok? People can follow you, reach you.
So on Instagram, it's _Falk1, and on TikTok, it's Falk1.
It's Falk1.
And
Dope.
on Spotify and Apple Music, it's just Falk1.
Just Falk1. Dope. So that's it for episode 47. If you're watching this on YouTube, check in the links in the description. All of our TikTok, Twitter, Instagrams down below. If you're listening to the podcast, check out the podcast on YouTube in full video for your viewing pleasure. Check out our reels, TikToks, everything we post. Keep up to date with RTF. And again, Falk1, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. It's been time. And that was it for episode 47. We refresh our feed so you didn't have to. Peace out.